Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome in. It's the Garnet Trust Hour. Wes Mitchell here, Colin Taylor joining us, and our very special guest, South Carolina junior guard, Meechie Johnson. Meechie, welcome into the show, man. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Blessed. Happy to be here and ready to talk.
Yeah, man. So we've been talking a little bit off air, but I'm just listening to you kind of talk about your experience so far, and you're in year 2 now. How much different is the comfort level just, with everything? Your coach, the city, the school. I got to imagine being in year 2, it's just a little bit different feel for you.
100%. It's totally a different feel. Being here in South Carolina, it feels great, honestly. Like, I feel very comfortable compared to last year coming in with the coaches, with the guys, as far as me and my leadership and my experience that I've played last year. I'm excited, man. I feel good. I'm ready to go with this team.
You talked about the comfortability of it. Last year, you're talking about a group that had never played. Usually when you see a coaching change, there are guys that tend to come over with the coaching staff or have played in this system before. Last year, you really didn't have anybody that had, and everyone's kind of in a new role coming from either the previous staff or coming through the portal. What's it like now, having guys, a core that have now played together under Coach Paris and bringing in some talent from the transfer portal in the freshman class? What's the comfortability level like with this team and just you in this system?
I'm going to be honest, man. Most of the guys that I feel like is here are all guys that Coach Paris has, brought in now. Like, these are all his guys. And we all kind of got a feel of what he wants and what he's looking for as a head coach. And we've really put some of the things that we all want to do aside. And it was like, listen, we want to get to the tournament and, everybody win at the end of the day. We're going to have some good chemistry. We're going to have to be on the same page. And that's where I feel like we're at, man. This team is, like I said, can do some great things. And like I said, I'm excited, man. I feel like everybody's comfortable because we are his guys. We are who he brought in, and it's going to be a good year.
Meechie, I'm always curious about kind of the off-the-court, off-the-field stuff when a guy comes into a new place. You're an Ohio guy from Cleveland. What has it been like just getting settled in at South Carolina, kind of dealing with the heat and just maybe the different cultures there, Ohio versus South Carolina? Yeah. What has the off-the-court part, I guess, been like for you?
For me, it's in the gym every day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, South Carolina is very much different than Cleveland, where I'm from. Cleveland's really like the city. It's definitely, a little more country and different. And I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's too much for me to do out here. Like, I haven't found too much, but we stay at 650 right next to the gym, and, we just live in there all day. Guys is going in there throughout the day, getting shots up, playing one-on-one, watching film together. Like, that's literally what, the off the court and how it looks like. So we do that every day, and we just stay in the lab.
Is there some element of that, though, that's good, like lack of temptation to get out and do a bunch of other stuff? Or?
I tell you what, man, just being, in a place where it's really not too much to do, and honestly, it keeps you focused, man. Mm-hmm. It really does. It Coach always talk about, what are you here for? You can come to college, like, you don't live. You're a junior now. Most of you guys are older. What are y'all trying to do? You know what I mean? Are y'all trying to still party and go out and do all the stuff that freshmen and all these other kids do? Or are we at the point where we're trying to make the tournament? Are we trying to make a run? So I feel like everybody kind of got a thought of what is going on and what they came here to do. And so much of it, I guess you could say, college go by fast, man. It's little time. It's not that much time, so you have to really be locked in. I'm not saying you don't have fun and do stuff as a team and, go here, go there, whatever. But right now, it's a grind. Like, we're really in that lab. We're really pushing each other. Everything is going to come out and show.
Meechie, what was you're a guy that is probably used to snow and cold and seasons, and what was the welcome to the South moment for you, whether culturally or weather-wise, as you kind of look back on your first year?
So I brought a coat when I first came. I brought a coat, a Canada Goose coat, big puffer coat. It's so warm. It's great for the snow. It's
how many times have you worn it?
Listen, it was cold one day, and it wasn't even cold. I just wanted to put it on. I go outside, I'm the only person with a coat on. I'm sweating in there. I take the coat off, and I still felt the same. That's when I was like, it's different out here, man. Like, you don't need it. Like, Coach Paris, he got this little bomber jacket he wear, like a little thing he wear all the time. It's the same thing. I'm like, he never gets tired. It keep him right where he need to be. So that's how I feel, man. That was my welcome moment. Like, you don't need no coat.
Yeah. As growing up in the South, we had a moment when I was in elementary school where they canceled school for the threat of snow.
Yeah, I heard it was like one snowflake. Like,
done.
Yeah, it's over with, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we live for those days. In Cleveland, like, snow days were the days. We waited, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so it's different.
All the bread and milk will be just bought up from the grocery store for like a threat of cold rain. Not even snow. It's
like
just
a wintry mix. Yeah, it's like wintry mix is coming for like 2 hours on Friday, and you'll see like lines out the door trying to get in and get bread and milk.
Obviously, we're going to talk some sports, but I do got to ask, man, what was the biggest snow you ever saw in your lifetime back home in Cleveland? Can you remember one in particular, or does it just happen so often that...
Cleveland, like, and that's what people get me too, because like out here, people that's from Columbia, like, or not from Columbia, they're just around like Talon or BJ or Colin, whatever. They'd be like, man, the weather changed out here so much. And I'm just like, no, it really doesn't. Like, rain is not, like, I don't think rain is like really much of a change. You know what I mean? Like, snow, rain, hot one day, like, that is Cleveland. So like, it could be like in the wintertime in December, the weather like the past couple of years been so different. But I remember like when I was growing up, like, you have blizzards where like you couldn't see. Mm-hmm. Like, it was that bad, you know. It was days where I didn't even go to school because my mom couldn't just get out the driveway, you know what I mean? So I can't think of anything in particular, but it changes so much. Like, one day it can be hot, next day it could be rain and hail, you know, like hard rain, snowballs, and next it's just crazy, man. Like, you gotta have a snowblower on deck.
Yeah, I don't even think they sell those down here.
No,
like,
they probably never heard of one.
Yeah, they don't exist. But you were talking about Talon and some of the other guys that have come in. I guess for Gamecock fans out there listening, maybe they haven't seen them play or certainly haven't seen them play here yet. What can you tell, just in general, what can you tell the people about what you've seen from those guys and kind of their presence so far?
I'm excited, man, because I feel like these guys are real competitors. Like, I feel like when it comes to competing and wanting to win, what I've seen, these guys are about that. And if you watched me play last year, like, I was always in tune with the fans. Like, I just love the excitement of the game. I feel like some of these guys are like that too. They played at some places like that, maybe been, you know, one of the best players on their team. So they know what it's like, you know, to, you know, compete. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm seeing from these guys, and we're competing hard, man. We're going back and forth. Like, me and Lon, they guarding each other every day in practice, just talking crap, you know, being physical, but I tell you what, we didn't have that last year. We didn't have that last year, and I think that'll be a big difference going into next season.
How much does that come just from getting older? You know, you're now in year 2 of playing extended minutes. Mm-hmm. Jacoby obviously playing extended minutes, and Talon's played thousands of minutes over the course of his career. How much does that competitive nature come from guys who have been there, done that before, and won at their previous institutions and here?
You have to go through some stuff, man. Like, you have to enjoy the process. You know what I mean? Like, so many players we talked about, like, they get so caught up and want it so fast, man. And I've been there. Like I said, Aubrey classed up, and I've, you know, went to a school where we were winning and I wanted to play. But you have to enjoy you have to be okay with learning, because college is different. It's not high school. It's not the NBA. It's a different stage of basketball. And you have to take one step at a time. And in order to be great, I feel like at this level, or get to the next level, competing and wanting that, you know, it comes with learning. You have to go through some things. You have to be down. You maybe have to get benched some games. Like, how do you respond? How do you, you know, come back from, you know, past losses? And I feel like we have a lot of guys that's been through that. And that helps a lot.
You mentioned the learning aspect of it, and I'm curious. You obviously go 2 years at Ohio State. You deal with injuries, it feels like, the entire time there. And you come here, and this is your first. I'm looking at the stats. You averaged 17 and 0.7 minutes at Ohio State your final year, and then jump up to 33 here. What did you learn about yourself, about the game, in that jump from Ohio State to here and playing extended minutes at the point guard position?
When I came to this team, we didn't have that much experience. Me and Hayden probably were like the only 2 players who had that experience to play. You got a guy like Gigi who comes in like I did and had a similar mindset like I did coming into college, you know, skipping his senior year. So you have to grow up fast. You know, you have to grow up fast. And you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, like, what do you want to do here? What do you want to be remembered for? And I feel like leadership was something that I had to learn. And I'm not going to lie, still learning, still growing. And I learned a lot, I will say, from this past offseason, just going through the NBA process and being in front of teams and seeing what they're looking for, being in the combine, playing with other point guards. Like, I'm not the type of person who's going to see somebody else that's probably in a better position than me. And, for example, like I was on the team with the guy from Kansas State at the combine. I learned a lot from that guy. You know what I mean? Like, just playing with him and his team going to the tournament, like seeing, way older than me, but just seeing some of the things that he did as a leader, as a point guard, it was good stuff. And that is stuff that you take from other players and you bring back home to your team. And you try to get to the tournament just like that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man. What was that experience like? I got to imagine it's just a different vibe versus like being in an arena with 15,000 people and they're cheering. There's all this great atmosphere. You can feed off of it versus, you're in this other setting, but there's like a bunch of guys over there looking at every little thing you do. And I'm sure you're trying not to think about, you're trying to just play your game, but there's maybe in the back of your mind, you're thinking about, did I do that right? Did I make it? How do you sort of go out there and be in the moment, but also just like go play ball, You
know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is my truest opinion because when I first started my first workout was with the Celtics. My granddad had died like 2 weeks before that, or like a week before that. And he raised me. That's like my father. So honestly, like, the way he was and the way he inspired me growing up as a kid, like I can really feel that like through workouts. I had no other choice. You know what I mean? And honestly, like when you get in those moments, you black out. You black out. Not to the point where you're not talking or nothing, but you go into this space where you just have to get it done. You know what I mean? For an hour, whatever it is. And every single one of my workouts, I was, probably one of the best in the workouts, best condition. Like I prepared for those moments. And like you said, you just there trying to do whatever you can to, people say you want to do this, you want to impress, or you don't want, like, you just trying to do what you can to make you look good. Because when you get to the next level, it's not about how many shots you hit. It's not about, all this other, what can you do good? I'm a point guard. How am I going to be able to get LeBron, Giannis, KD, these guys the ball? How am I going to be able to hit open shots and be efficient when I get in the ball? So things like that, you're just trying to do the best way you can.
Definitely. We certainly offer condolences to you and your family, man, on the loss of your grandpa. Seems like a good time to take a little break. We're going to hit a commercial. Be right back with Meechie Johnson and Garnet Trust Hour.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back here in studio again. Meechie Johnson, Colin Taylor, Wes Mitchell, hanging out, talking a little bit of everything. Before we went to break, you mentioned LeBron. You're from Cleveland. Don't you you have a connection to LeBron?
Yes,
is that right? What
yes,
you want to tell everybody about that?
Yes, when my dad grew up, they had a great relationship. I think LeBron was number one in the state. My dad was number two. And you know how that just is, being in the same area, being good players, hanging out, stuff like that. It carried a long, long way. And LeBron came to games in high school. We went to Cavs games. And he's just been nothing but supportive, man. I think after the Kentucky game, he tweeted about me and stuff like that. Like, he's just always been supportive, man. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't accept that? To me, our generation, the best player of all time. So shout out to him always, man, just for the love and support, for calling, checking in, or tweet, whatever it is, man. I always appreciate it, and everybody looks up to LeBron. So just grateful to have somebody like that that's rooting for you in your back corner.
So chances LeBron ever comes to Colonial Life or to a game and sits courtside for it?
Low, very low. And
he's kind of busy. He's kind of busy.
I mean, you know what, man? He got his, got Bronny at, USC.
The other
now,
USC, yeah.
And, you just in the NBA, man. He's in this, his own career still, trying to get it done, trying to get rings, and this, I don't think he'll come to Columbia is on this list. You know what I mean? In the middle of a long season, but I mean, I pray on it.
Yeah.
I'm saying though, you guys do open up in the or you have a Spectrum Center game.
Never know, man.
Maybe they're playing the Hornets in a couple days before they're after that.
I tell you what, I don't know if it was true or not, but when we had played, he didn't even tell me though, so I don't think he was there because he would have for sure talked to my dad because my dad was there. But when we played Georgetown last year at Georgetown, that's an NBA arena. Lakers had played the Wizards like the day after. So, before the game, people was telling me, is LeBron here? I think I seen Bron. I didn't see him.
Yeah.
But, 100%. It's always cool. It's always love when, like me, I always had NBA players coming to my game in high school, like Bam Adebayo, Derrick Jones, Terry Rozier, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, J.R. Smith, like Kevin Knox. I had a lot of people who used to always come and watch me play, and I love it. I love it.
So when LeBron came out, actually, I think this would have been 2003 when he was coming out of high school, and he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and on the cover with him was my high school classmate, Ivory Latta, because she was the #1 girl prospect in the country. Yeah, went on to go to UNC. She scored 70 points in a high school basketball game one time. Still the craziest sports feat I've ever seen in person. So
that's wild.
Anytime I think about LeBron back then, I'm always just, I got to bring that up. Just, there's no segue from that. I just have to mention my high school classmate. But so I'm always interested. I cover football primarily, Meechie. I'm kind of amazed sometimes the guys I talk to. Some of them are like super into the NFL, and some of them are like, I just play ball. I don't even really watch. So for you in the NBA, like, are you an NBA head? Like, are you watching all the time? Do you have a team, or are you more kind of not?
I'm gonna tell you what, like, I'm very into it, but more so of like, I watch more film than I say more games at times. I watch a lot of Jamal Murray, a lot of Tyrese Maxey, Darius Garland, Chris Paul, just guards, that are good in the NBA that I like to watch. And now that you're in a place where you have people that you play with in high school, and now they're in the NBA, teammates you watch those games and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit there and lie and say, like, I'm the biggest NBA guy when it comes to that. But when it comes to studying, certain players' film and, wanting to add things to your game, I definitely tune into that.
Pretty special, I imagine, seeing your actual friends on TV.
My guy, Malachi Bram, shout out to him from, OSU. That was my roommate every road game, and then see a guy go top 25 in the draft. And, it's about to be playing with Victor Wambi with the Spurs. If I say his name wrong, I apologize. But Victor with the Spurs. So, you love to see stuff like that, man. And I'm just happy to, had the moments to share courts with some of those guys and soon be able to share it again.
You mentioned the NBA and studying guys, and you went through the process, obviously. We talked a little bit about that. What was the feedback you got from NBA personnel, scouts, GMs that you're taking back with you back to Columbia to kind of work on this year?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams that we talked to felt that I was an NBA player. They felt that I could do it, this coming up year, being a late first or a second round guy. But my thing was the efficiency and the consistency. You know what I mean? Because we all know, like, I had very big games last year, but it was how efficient can you be and how consistent can you be from game to game. And, I remember even last year after the Kentucky game, I got a call like, dude, you can be consistent and efficient for the rest of the year. Like, you put yourself in a good spot. But, things happen. Like I said, this is a learning process. It's a lot of up and downs. And another thing is, too, being a point guard, can you win? Can you turn your season around different from last year? And at this point, man, it's like points and some of the stuff don't even matter. And, like, I really want to get to the tournament. Like, I really want to be remembered for something in Columbia that hasn't been done in a long time. And I feel like those are some of the biggest, advice I got. The 3 takeaways was winning, consistency, and efficiency.
What's that look like this summer in terms of what are you doing from that standpoint to improve? What does a typical work day look like for you?
So, you're just getting up, going through the process with the team, lift, practice, and then I'm probably getting in the gym 2 more times, And when you hear that, a lot of people say, they get in the gym and they're just in there playing around. Like, we're in there really, like, locking in on our craft. And for the basketball people who play basketball, a way you can really help track efficiency is something that I learned, because you go in the gym, you go corner, wing, middle, wing, corner. Guys go in there and be like, I'm just going to make 20. Instead of making 20, how many can I make out of 20? So I'm trying to go 17 for 20, 18 for 20. Instead of just making 20, because some people make 20 and it might take them 40 shots to make 20.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you really don't know how efficient you are. But a way I've been trying to track my efficiency and become a better shooter is, trying to go 16 for 20, trying to go 20 for 20. You know what I mean? Like, just seeing where I'm at, because that will help me improve my shooting and let me know how efficient I'm shooting the ball at the time.
What is the most locked in you've been? Have you gone 20 for 20 recently?
Oh, yeah. I've been so locked in. I tell you what, like, this summer was probably one of the best summers I've ever had. Well, the summer's still going on, but, like, before I get in here in Columbia, like, what I went through for that NBA process and that combine, I've never been so locked in. So I've been tracking everything, working hard as I can to, be efficient and consistent.
You mentioned Talon earlier. How much do you think having him on this roster and the two of you potentially playing off of each other, maybe letting you play off ball some and kind of use your range and the different things you can do, how much does his skill set potentially like free up your skill set some?
I love it because now you're playing with a guy who's been in the tournament as well, played the point guard, has a great assist to turnover ratio, and knows the game, and is also a leader, a lead guard. And, when you look at that in college basketball, some of the best teams are guard who has two vet guards that know how to play basketball. And that's what we have, adding Kobe and Miles, too, to that. And it's special. I think it'd be special because, like I said, we've been going against each other every single day, and we're competing. I mean, we're competing. Like, we're not friends. It's serious, man. It's serious, and I love it because it shows that we can have something special. Because I know that when we go into these games, I know what I'm going to expect from him, and I know what he's going to expect from me. And if I'm not getting that from him and he's not getting that from me, we're able to hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? So it's great, man, having a guy that is a vet, knows the game, like I said, and is going to hold you accountable when it comes times to it.
You guys obviously struggled at points last season. You're trying to build off that, but we were talking off air about the end of the season where you push Arkansas to the brink, push Alabama to the brink. What were some of those proof of concept moments for you and this team to say, okay, we do have something here if we can continue to build on it?
You know what, man, just stand together. Stand together was, like I told you out there, like, it's just big. You get in games like that with Arkansas, Alabama. I mean, guys, Alabama's the number 1, number 2 team in the country, and we had them. We were 5 seconds away from winning that game. And, you come back and you think about it, and it's like, what can we do? What didn't we do that didn't win those games? And that's the chemistry. I didn't feel that the chemistry was all the way there last year, and that was shown. And I feel like this year we're going to be able to close some of these games because of what we're building, what Coach Paris is building. It's a process, man. Not just with players, but with coaches. And I think Coach Paris is doing a great job in what he sees and what he's, bringing to Columbia.
I think it was you that threw up the final shot on like the three-quarter right before. I still think I watched that thing go around the rim twice.
God. Listen,
and, yeah.
I say to people, why couldn't I have had shot the one I made before half? At the end of the game. You know what I mean? Like, the gym would have went nuts, bro. The gym would have. That would have been one of my best wins I've ever had. Beating the number 2, number 1 team. I mean, I've done it once. Duke at Ohio State.
Right.
It's insane. I mean, what it does and what it can do for your team. I mean, it would have been great for us, man. It would have been great.
Well, it was funny. Where we sit down there courtside. I'm sitting next to another beat reporter, and I look at him at like the under 8 in the second half, and I was like, because the student section's right behind us. I looked at him, I was like, if this happens, like, we either got to bolt to the media room or we got to like duck, because these students are like, you're not holding them back. Yeah, like, you're not holding them back, and they're going to find any and every way to hurdle someone or something.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I mean, it was one of the most, like, it wasn't a Kentucky game for me,
right?
But it would have meant more. Being at Columbia, being a number 2, 1 team in the country, not having winning too many games at home in SEC play, and what team, like, nobody, like, people thought we were going to get blown out by 40. I mean, because Tennessee and A&M, the games that we were playing against, I mean, it just wasn't going our way. And that win to this day, I mean, I watch it, and when I do, I turn it off because I get upset that we didn't win the game. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy, but we're coming back. We're coming back for sure.
All right, again, we're here in studio with Meechie Johnson. We're on 107.5 The Game. This is the Garnet Trust Hour. We'll be right back.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, we're back. 107.5 The Game. Garnet Trust Hour. Colin Taylor, Meechie Johnson. I'm Wes Mitchell. Meechie, we were talking off air about some food, man. We always like to talk food on this show.
Yes, sir.
And let the fans know a little bit about the student athletes at South Carolina, off the court, off the field, all that good stuff, man. So, all right, Meechie, what if you could have one meal for the rest of your life, man? Is there anything that immediately pops into your head?
Barbecue chicken wings.
Okay.
Nice fried wings, man. I can never go wrong with honey BBQ wings.
Do you cook some yourself, or are you letting somebody else do the chef work?
I am a chef. I do cook a lot. Lasagna, chicken Alfredo, tacos, burgers. I do it all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was raised by my grandma, and them, so I've seen it all. But when it comes to wings, I try to get them out. I'm not really a wing cooker. You know, sometimes it's hard to play with that grease. You want to have it right. You know, you might egg. So I order those.
Yeah.
Leave that to the professionals.
Yeah,
there's science to it.
I leave that to the professionals.
Yeah.
Sort of same line of questioning. If you're not playing basketball or eating, what do you do in your free time? I know you said you're kind of on the grind, not doing a whole lot else. But if you do have some free time, what is it that you enjoy doing? Any hobbies?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say any hobbies, but I'm into gaming. I'm starting to Twitch, stream while I game. I have a dog. You know, I love to go to the park with him, walk him outside. And I'm also spiritual, so I do love to, go to church, read my Bible, and talk to my family and things like that. Like I said, man, it's not too much to do in Columbia. I don't really have too many hobbies I see out here, besides gaming and spending, quality time with the ones I love.
What games we playing?
Warzone, 2K, Madden. I haven't played Fortnite in a long time. But I usually stick to those 3 games right there.
That's the same answer. I feel like those are the college games right now, right?
I'm really a Warzone person.
Warzone's a big one.
Are you good?
I'm good. Yeah. my teammates, and that's why I say our chemistry is so crazy, because if you're really good at that Warzone stuff, I mean, it's like real war. You know what I mean? Like, watch here, sniper. So we on a game all day, just talking, laughing. Just. You'd be surprised, man. We build chemistry, and you'll really laugh at this, but when we play 2K, I tell Zach and my teammates, those are the guys I play with. Like, I play it like real life. Like, you know what I mean? I try to do stuff that I can do in real life. So it's fun, man. It's those are the things I do.
Hey, have you heard any of the talk about the new college football video game coming out?
I did, but I'm hearing that they might do it. They might not do it because the players want more money or something. I'm just like, man, just get it over with. You know what I mean? Like, I remember playing it back in the day. I think it was, Braxton Miller, those guys. They used to be, it was fun. It was fun.
I still have the NCAA basketball games. Yep. The cover athlete was Kevin Love. Like, that was the guy on the cover at UCLA. And I still have that.
I think if they drop a football game, it can be one of the best-selling games.
Oh, 100%.
But
100%.
They're going to have to get past that money. Money with $500, I guess they say not enough for some of those guys. So
I'll be in the game for $500.
I would. It's a lifetime moment, but I can't complain, man. Like, you got NFL guys getting, a lot of money, and then you got some of these guys like, hold up. Like Caleb Williams, for example. I just won Heisman. I ain't getting $500. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what he's saying, but that's how some people may look at it. So you never know what's going on, man.
How's the puppy?
He's doing good. Yeah. He's doing good. He's getting
Golden
big.
Doodle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big dog lover, man. I grew up with dogs. Got one. So
what's his name?
Nemo. Shout out to Nemo.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got
Hopefully Nemo is listening.
Yeah, he's got the big Golden Doodle. I got the mini Golden Doodle. So
that's awesome, man. So I was gonna ask. So like, I kind of feel like at this point though with NIL, sometimes you have. I don't even know if it's the football player saying I need more money. I think you got so many other people involved, agents and just different organizations, lawyers. So if you were in that spot, or let's say they said, hey, we're going to extend this out. We're going to bring back the college basketball game too. The math would be different with basketball because football, you got to think there's 85 scholarship guys. Right. So if you're a student athlete, $500 a person for football, that's a $5 million pot of money that is being split up. So
I mean, they make billion. I don't want to say billion, but they make a lot. Of
multi-millions.
A lot of money off the game.
So there's a balance in there.
It is.
But where would your head be if they're like, hey, $500 or $1,000? How do you weigh, putting a little bit of cash in your pocket versus I'm going to be in a video game for life? Like, that can never be taken away.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, honestly, I think that I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, can we get more money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I felt like if it came down to it where the point was like, we're not going to be able to do it, I still at that point would just be like, all right, let's do it.
Throw my name in there.
Yeah, just do it. I tried to get more money, I couldn't, but you're going to make like they said that the players that don't want to be in it, they're just going to make fake players that look like they're just wear their number or look like them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you said, it's a lifetime game. Like, they haven't made a game since what? Like you said,
14?
Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love was the last basketball one, yeah.
And he will, there's players who've never played in the NBA, will never be in an NBA game. And I feel like, NBA is not guaranteed. NFL is not guaranteed. Why not want to be in a game? You know what I mean? So it's everybody got their own view on it. Everybody got the status and want this, want that. Listen, I feel like if you already making six figures out there in the hell, just be in a game.
Well, there could be an argument, too, that if this game is as popular as we all think it's going to be, it's actually going to help your brand to be in the game versus not being in the game. So I don't want to be quarterback number 5. I want to be like my name. So I think there's a lot of different sides to this. Plus, how much do you care about your fans that are paying money to support you? Yeah. You want to sort of. I wouldn't want to be. I'll say this. I wouldn't want to be the one guy holding out. If we all.
That's what I'm saying.
If we all agree, that's what I'm saying. Then and there's the one guy. But if we all are like, man, this is crap. Like, there needs to be more money.
I don't know if is there like a college football player organization? Because I know the NBA got like the NBPA, like National Basketball Players.
I don't think there really truly is.
Just like
there's some organizations
groups.
trying to be that, but I don't know that.
Right.
I don't think there's an official deal.
Like, could you imagine it's like Jacoby Wright, BJ Mack, PG5, Talanku, like that would be the situation.
But that's that's like you said. I mean, I would.
Right.
Like I said, because it's something that you can always, you're in the video game.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, some stuff I feel like you just got to do. But everybody got their own opinion and view on it, so.
Yeah, and kind of shifting gears. Now, there's no easy transition to kind of get back on track because we like to do tangents here, but you guys are going through summer workouts now. We've touched a little bit on it. Focusing on this year's team, what are some things that you've noticed? I'm not asking you to reveal state secrets here, but just some big picture takeaways from these last few weeks in summer practice.
Just from our team?
Yeah, just from y'all's team.
Competitive, like I said. I talked a lot about being competitive and how we push each other, compete with each other. And honestly, the way we play with each other. It's still, week 4, week 5, guys are still learning each other's spots and what they like to do and whatnot, but I feel like the way we play with each other and the way we can share the ball and our shooting and what we can do offensively, it can be special. It can be. It really can be. And those are some of the things I've seen. And I feel like if we continue to build on those things and stick together, we can make the tournament. We have a chance. We have a chance.
All right, y'all, this is a good time to take one more break. We're going to hit that right now. This is 107.5 The Game, Garnet Trust Hour, hanging out with Meechie Johnson.
It's the Garnet Trust Hour on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here with Meechie Johnson, Garnet Trust Hour, 107.5 The Game. Meechie, I got a very open-ended question for you, man. I'm going to let you take it wherever you want to. What is it like playing for Coach Lamont Paris?
I'm going to tell you what, man. This guy it's nothing like it. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that. I really feel like if, people don't get caught up because, let's be real. Like we said, Columbia is not probably the best city as far as to do a lot. But what do you come into college to do? And I feel like if you're coming to college to be you, to learn, to grow, to have someone that's going to hold you accountable, tell you the truth, but, let you play through mistakes, let you play with freedom, let you take your shots. We seen it last year. The guys, he sticks with you. You know what I mean? He encourages you. He picks you up when you're down. He's really going to be that he's a player's coach. And I wouldn't just say that. Coach Paris is a player's coach, and I tremendously all the time just thank him for taking a chance on me. I had other options and places I could have went, but really keeping his word. You don't have too many coaches who keep his word because coming out of high school, I was one of the best guards in the country. You know what I mean? Like, I was number 2 point guard. You go to Ohio State and you don't go how you want to. And that happens a lot for a lot of players. And, you know, hitting the portal wasn't easy. Coming 8 hours away from home wasn't easy. Like, and when you have someone who sticks, you know, with their word and pushes you, helps you get better, and is always there for you, man. Like I said, not just saying it, but I always thank Coach Paris, like, and what he's done for me so far in my career. So, got a lot of ways to go. You know, it's a lot of ups and downs on the road. But when you have someone who's about winning and loves the game of basketball and loves players being them, it's hard to not want that. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know who's going to hear this, but if South Carolina is recruiting you, do not sleep. You know, don't get caught up in the this and that because people do. You know, as a kid, you want to go to the big blue bus. I ain't saying they ain't for you. You know what I mean? But don't sleep on what's being done in South Carolina and what Coach Paris can let players do. And I think he's going to continue to show that. I think he's going to continue to show that he let his players play. He holds them accountable and that he can win. You know, and I feel like once we get this thing going and start winning, it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around.
Coming from Ohio State, it's the confident. You talked even in the preseason before last year about having to build your confidence up. It doesn't go the way you want to at Ohio State. You're coming here, you go through the ankle injury and all that. How instrumental was Coach Paris and that staff just for you building that confidence back up, especially offensively, to get you to a point where you were a key contributor last season for last year's team?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's, you know, like I said, you come from Ohio State where your role is different. You know what I mean? I'm not a person who like to fake it like everything is always good, man. It was a lot of mental moments where you just didn't think you were that same guy. You know what I mean? Because not only coming out of high school was I one of the best players, but I was still coming off an ACL injury. You know what I mean? Trying to prove to myself that I can play at the highest level. And I had moments at Ohio State, but I was never in the position like I was last year. And when you get here and you got this coach who's pushing you every single day, and he sees things in you and he's telling you to shoot the ball. He's asking you, why didn't you shoot? You know what I mean? Like, I never forget. Like, even some of the other guys tell me, like, on my visit, he showed me shots that I wasn't taking. Or, like, or shots where I was hesitant or just, it showed, and that did something to me. That did something to me. And coming here, you know, basketball is not it, man. It's not the whole piece. You know what I mean? The mental side of it, and like I said, how you able to respond is huge. And when you have support from a coach, you know, and also a shout out to the assistant coaches from, you know, Bronson and Shannon to Coach Buckley. Like, it's a great staff, man. It's a great staff, and I'm hoping and praying that we can get it done this year. Because I'm telling you, once we get this thing rolling, Paris is gonna bring in some guys, man, because he let guys go. He let guys go, and I don't know who wouldn't. As a high school player who wants to get to the next level and wants to play there, who wouldn't want that, you know? So,
is he a good dancer? We've seen the clip of him doing the running man after a game. Is that the only thing he can't do? Or
that's the only thing I've ever seen him do. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I never really seen him get down and boogie, but yeah, I guess that's the only thing I haven't seen him do.
What's his personality like? Because obviously he's very sarcastic when you talk to him. 100%. Just very wry sense of humor. What's he like to deal with when he's not coaching and in the flow of a practice?
He's hilarious. He's hilarious. Like, he's so funny. Like, honestly, like, I think he's like, what he says and what he's going to say is unpredictable. Like, it really is. Like, he has these analogies from golf to bowling to to like whatever it can be. I mean, he's just so funny. Like, I remember he was talking to the team the other day, and he was just telling us, like, yeah, you think I want to come on Sunday nights and be in the locker room and watch film all day? He's like, no, but I'm like Kobe. I love the smell of the ball. I'm like, man, everybody in the head, like, the smell of the ball.
You're like looking at each other like,
what?
Yeah.
Like, I love the smell of it. Just to be here, like, the smell of the ball, the way it, you know, dribbles. I'm just like, man, this dude is crazy. Like, he's so funny, man. But he's like you said, man, he's so, you can't really predict him and what he's going to say. Yeah. But he's a great guy. And he got a good sense of humor. He's always cracking jokes. And I love Coach Paris. I love the whole staff.
Y'all got me with that one. I've never heard that. Dude, was he Do you think he was dead serious or he was just messing with you?
No, he was dead serious because we had some guys go home on the weekend, and nothing had happened, right? But we had some guys go home on the weekend, and he's like, what are we doing here? Like, if this is what we want to do, if basketball, if we're about this, like, you think I want to be in the office on a Sunday night watching film, up late? No. But I'm like, Kobe, I love the smell of it. I love the smell of the ball, the way it hits the rim. I just love it. I love the breath. I love being in. I'm like, bro, we all looking at each other like, what? It's like, but we get what he's saying.
Right.
Like Coach Paris, the way he come off, I think it's good because like everybody and how they're coached is different. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not everybody wants to be yelled at. He's not a yelling coach. Like he's not somebody who's gonna cuss you out and dog you like that. Like you have coaches like that, and some people like being coached like. But I think for me and some of the guys that's here, like we're able to push each other and ourselves, and we're also able to have that support from a head coach who sees it in us and he pushes us, man. Instead of just yelling and breaking us down, he's really about building you up and building you up not just into a basketball player but a man. Like he makes you look at the whole picture and what it can be. So he sees great in you, and we love that.
I'm curious, Meechie, kind of shifting a little bit here, but we've talked a little bit about the summer workouts and this team and what y'all are bringing in. A lot of the focus is on, I guess, those 4 transfer portal guys, you, Jacoby. Who is someone that we are not talking about right now that late November, middle of December is going to be someone we're talking about pretty heavily?
Yeah, honestly, listen, I'm going to first say this. I'm going to first say it could be anybody.
Yeah.
It really can. College basketball, you never know who can surprise you when them lights come on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I think Colin has a chance to show what, he can do, his athleticism and his size and the way he can get off the ground. He's young. He's a freshman. He's going to have some mistakes. He's going to have some up and downs. But I think that's a guy that December, January, you can be looking at like, yeah, he has potential to be one day. Like I said, you never know what can happen, but he has the potential to be an all-SEC guy when it's all said and done. I think that's somebody you can watch out for going into the season and some of the things he can do.
And my last real pressing thing that I was curious about, the SEC schedule came out the other day. You don't know when you're playing, but you know who you're going to go. Mm-hmm. Last year y'all played. What was your favorite road game last year to go play? Was it Kentucky going on the road?
It was.
Winning that route?
I think just winning that game and what everything went into it, it was. Yeah. It was Kentucky.
What about this year? What road venue are you most excited to go to and play at this year? Do you know who y'all have on the road this year?
Yeah, Alabama on the road, Arkansas on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auburn on the road too.
Auburn on the road. I'm excited about Arkansas.
Yeah, I've heard really, really good things about it.
I've heard that gym gets really loud. Mm-hmm. We had them last year, and I got a few guys from Ohio on the team, and I'm ready for that matchup. I'm ready for that. Dylan Bama, I'm ready for it. And honestly, Tennessee too.
Yeah,
I want that. I mean, they did us bad twice, bad. So I want those.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. That I've never been to Arkansas, but I've been to Bama for a couple games, and the gym is old, but it's one of those historic olds where you can kind of feel the history, and it gets pretty loud in there. So that's a fun place. And Auburn's, I think you're really going to like playing at Auburn too. It's really, really small, so like they're sitting on you and just breathing down your neck. Do you like playing on the road?
I do. I really do. I've always liked playing on the road my whole life. One of my best games I ever had was on the road. In high school, I had 50 points on the road, number 4 team in the state. So being on the road for me is great. But I'll tell you what, I'm ready to get this CLA rocking.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to get this game. So, try to have it sold out every time. Seeing it, going back watching Bama, watching some of those games where, I hit 3 and get that gym loud. I'm ready for that. I was actually watching the game last year. It was another game. I forget who it was, but the reporter was talking, and they were asking her, like, what are some of the loudest, arenas you've been in, in college? And she was talking about how when we played Tennessee, that was one of the loudest. And I think that once we start winning and get this thing rolling, every night, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit.
You got some good ones, too. Coming at home, Kentucky at home, Florida at home.
Just got Notre Dame today.
Right, that's a big one.
Yeah, man. This schedule this year, from going to the Bahamas to playing in Phoenix to going to Charlotte and playing in the NBA arena, and then just the SEC schedule along itself. Like, this is why I say, because it's not about, like, college basketball, you're going to have some wins and losses. Mm-hmm. How can you bounce back? And then when March comes, how are you ready for it? How have you been prepared through the losses, through the wins? Like, if last year's team would have, like, won the SEC, nobody would have cared what happened in the first half of the season. Right. It's all about how are you ready when March comes. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to build to that.
Meechie, you were reading my mind, man. We're almost out of time, but do you want to speak to the Gamecock fans listening? Because what do you think has to happen, man, to kind of, like you're talking about, get that consistent atmosphere? We've seen it at its best at times, and I know you guys can feed off that when you have that going. So you want to kind of speak to them? What can they expect? What can they expect to see from this basketball team in year 2 this year that they're going to want to be there to see it in person?
I feel like we need to this got to be a family, you know, between the fans and the team. Like, I tried to have it with the last year. I felt it. I can't say I felt like I was very connected with the fans, but I feel like when they come to the team, and the fans and just the Gamecock, whatever sport, man, it got to be a family. Because when you a family, can't nothing get in between that. And when I say nothing get between that, can't nobody come into your house and do anything, because we feed off that. You know, we feed off that energy. Obviously, it start with us on the court. Like, we have to perform. We have to compete. We have to play well. Nobody can play for us. But when you look in them stands and they're filled up and they're supporting you, it gives you an edge. It gives you an edge. And I think that if they can stay with us through the process, like I said, it's a process for everybody. For everybody, man. Rome wasn't built in one night. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you can stay, you know, with us through the ups and downs and see the bigger picture, everything can turn out right, man. Everything can turn out right for everybody. So, excited for the Gamecock Nation. I appreciate the support the team do, you know, because last year, even when we were losing, they were still coming, supporting Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, like they were still coming. And I'm just asking, like, you know, don't give up, because we're gonna turn it around. We're going to turn it around, and I feel like they need to hear that. They need to know that we're thinking about them, that it's bigger than us, and we want to get back to a Final Four.
Meechie, this has been super fun, man. I feel like we could probably go another hour, but we are out of time on the Garnet Trust Hour. Man, we wish you luck this season, appreciate you for coming in, man.
Yes, sir, man. God bless. Thank you for having me, and go Gamecocks.
All right, for Meechie Johnson, for Colin Taylor, I'm Wes Mitchell. This has been the Garnet Trust Hour on 107.5 The Game.